And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I gotta say, folks, when I first heard of City of Zombies, I kind of just said, meh, and put it aside. Why? Because it's a zombie game. I'm getting kind of tired of zombie games. It's a theme that is overdone. We are overrun with zombie games, if you may permit me a stupid joke. However, I do like the tagline here, you need brains to survive, and somebody said, hey, you should check this out. This is an interesting game because it uses math. Ooh, educational zombies. I'm listening. All right, so this is a game aimed at kids, although it can be played with adults, in which you're going to be using the power of math to stop zombies and aliens who are trying to overrun you. It's done so in a very cutesy way. The zombies here are not the kind of zombies, they're almost like chibi zombies, not the kind of zombies that would scare pretty much anybody. Here's how it plays, this cooperative game. In this game, players are trying to stop the zombies from killing your survivors down here. The more survivors you have at the end of the game equals your score. So you can see this is 4, so that's a really useful thing to have. Players are going to be doing so. I have some heroes down here at the bottom. I got Granny, Joe, Masaki, and Alana. They're going to be helping me. There's different heroes that can be used in the game. It's an optional rule if you want to. But essentially what you're going to do each round of the game is first you look, are there any events in the zombie row? There are. A sneak peek. This is a good event. It says look at the top 8 cards of the zombie deck, put them back in any order. Great, so let's pretend I did that. Sometimes these are bad. Sometimes they'll make zombies pop up. So you got to keep an eye out for this sort of thing. Then each player is going to take a turn. And on your turn, you're going to roll 3 dice. And you're going to use these dice to kill zombies. So I have a 2 here. I have a 3 here. And I don't have a 5. But you have to use all 3 dice or you can kill nothing. But fortunately, I can use multiplication and addition. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. That doesn't work. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 2 is 11. Also doesn't work. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. That's not going to work. Let's do 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. No, so it doesn't look like there's anything I can do with these dice on my turn. So the next player goes. And they rolled a 1, a 5, and a 2. Well, this one's easy. 1 plus 5 is 6, and the 2 goes here. So I can get rid of both of those. So these are both gone. And then the next person goes. They rolled 2 5s and a 2. So 10 plus 5 is 15. 10 minus 5 is 5. 25 minus 2. 25 plus 2. Probably nothing. And you're trying to stop these zombies. Now, if I had rolled a 6, you're always allowed to square a die if you want to. So I could say that's 36. Of course, even then that wouldn't be useful because I could square to 3 and get 9, but what am I going to do with a 2? You have to use all 3 dice. In case you're confused, each card will show you what can be done. So 3 and 12 are both the same color. So that's to help kids know 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 9 is 36, and 6 times 6 is 36. So you can keep track of that. But once everyone has rolled their dice and tried to kill whatever zombies they can, also maybe utilizing your heroes. You kind of exhaust a hero to use it, roll a dice, and power it up. Powering it up basically means squaring it. Remove zombies of lower strength from the barricade down here, so that's so useful. Joe could change 1 die to a result of his choice. That could be very handy. Granny could roll 1 die and roll 4 or higher, destroy that number level 1 or 2 zombies. Each zombie is going to have a level. If you want to play an easy game, you can play level 1s only, or level 1s and 2s, then add 3s and 4s on it. And here he can pick a zombie, if defeated, remove any or all zombies behind it. So at the end of a round, the zombies move up. If a zombie moves into the barricade, it's going to stay there, and each zombie eats a certain number of survivors. This one eats 6, so we better kill him. And that will take care of those zombies here. So you have to stop the zombies from getting up here. And they're just going to be consistently moving forward. And if the barricade's ever full, you lose. And then more zombies will come out. The rescue airplane moves down 1. You're trying to get the rescue airplane down here, so 15 turns. And then you'll roll 2 dice, and you pick the higher number of the 2 dice you rolled, and that's how many more zombie cards come out. And they come out in the row where the airplane is. So once the airplane hits turn 10, they come out in this row. There's all kinds of zombies. Level 4, here's a negative 30, 32, 3, 1, negative 1, 10, 12. Energy bar lets you add a +1 to a roll. A 4, a 19. This is a prime number. They show you that because these numbers are harder to get to with the 3 different dice. 31, another prime number. Those are usually added in level 4s and level 3 and 4. So there's all sorts of things. There are aliens who, when they come, they abduct humans rather than eating them. And if you defeat an alien, you can free humans. And so there's all sorts of cards that will show up. And if you run out of these, you get to reshuffle. If you ever manage to kill all the zombies on the board, that's great. It lets you add more survivors to down here. You get to add 4 more survivors, which will help increase your score at the end of the game. And every time the plane gets to these spots, all your hero cards unexhaust. And by the way, there's lots of different heroes that can be used from game to game. In fact, if you want to play a tougher game, you can play with 2 heroes that are out on the board, but if zombies get to them, they turn into extremely difficult zombies who are now coming at you. And that's it. Once you get to the end, whether you lose or win, you draw a game-ending card, read the story on it if you survived or if the barricade was overrun. You basically just have to survive and get here. You get your score, and that's the game. And then you can just play again or what have you. So it's a cooperative game as players are trying to stop the zombies and defeat and keep as many survivors alive as possible using the power of math. Okay, so I want to start this video out by saying that I really enjoyed this game and I like it a lot. However, I am told by my children to give you their opinion, which is they do not. Fortunately, I'm the one making the video, but I want to explain why my kids don't like it so that you can hear the reasonings. Some of my kids did not like it because of the math. I don't care. This is a way to learn math. But it really is a way to learn math, right? You have 3 numbers. Okay, so I subtract and then multiply, so I divide and then add. So I like that concept. I like using the 3 dice together to get math, and as you get to each successive level of the zombies, it gets harder. Negative numbers, those prime numbers can be very difficult. Sometimes many of the prime numbers, there's really only one way to get to them with the 3 numbers. Add that to the heroes. The heroes, okay, I can add 1 from, to this number. I can do this, and you're working together to try to stop the zombies. My oldest daughter, Melody, who wanted to do this review with me but has school, her opinion was the math part she liked. She just felt like you rolled dice, you looked at the combinations, you killed zombies, and there wasn't many choices there. I can concede that point to some degree. However, I would argue that the heroes let you do a few changes there, and the point of the game is figuring out the combinations and working together. But yeah, I can see that. I love the artwork of this game. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of zombie. The theme, the grossness, brains everywhere. This is just silly little cartoon zombies and aliens coming in. And so kids are not going to have nightmares about this game at night. The heroes and stuff, it's fun, it's silly, it looks cool. The math concept, I already mentioned that I like that a lot. I find it interesting. Level 1 of this game, you're going to destroy it unless you're just really bad at math. Level 2 makes it a little harder, and then level 3 and 4, once you add in that stuff, but you also get some cool things. You even get like a tripler cube, where you're able to cube something, which is good because there's an alien in the deck who's a 125. It would be very difficult to beat him unless you rolled 3 5s otherwise. So I like that concept. I like this mathiness. I like how the zombies work. There's even like a extreme version. What do they call it in the rules here? Apocalypse mode, where the zombies have symbols on them. And if 2 zombies have the exact symbol on them, it's even harder. I don't know. I think the game on level 4 is already pretty tough as it is. Now, granted, if you beat it, then you look at your score. You have to be really good to get a high score, or really lucky, that being said. But if you want your kids to learn math, this is a good game for that. It makes them learn their multiplication, their addition and subtraction, makes them think, how can I take these 3 numbers and get to something? That is great skills, and it's doing so in a fun zombie setting. So I recommend it for that. I think as a game, I also enjoy it. I like the idea of using these. I like the idea of finding the combinations in the dice, maybe re-rolling, changing one of my choice. I feel like the heroes add enough options to make this not a great cooperative game, but a good, solid one, even though Melody disagrees with me on that. So I'm recommending this. I think it's a fun game for families to play together, and while mine did not enjoy it, I think that many out there will, and mine are just incorrect on their thoughts on that. That is City of Zombies. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.